cha shakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, you art my Father, you art my mother, you art my friend and companion, you art my wisdom, you art my knowledge, you are everything, O God of gods. Peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are back to our reading of the Bhakti Sutras. Not the Bhakti Sutras. I first talked about who can cross the Maya, impossible Maya. Who can cross the impossible Maya. But then we talked about what is the additional nature of the supreme love, pure love. And what is the nature of the secondary or preparatory bhakti. One is the matured bhakti, which is the goal of our life. It's called the para bhakti, supreme love. Another is called the preparatory bhakti. So we will talk. So now we are reading that portion. So what is the supreme love? That we read in verse number 51. That is anirvachaniyo prema sarupa. It is of the nature of prema, unconditional love, absolute love, of the nature of which cannot be described in the described or expressed. It is so deep, it is so profound, it cannot be expressed or even described by any writings. And second 52 verse we also read. Then what is this? It is not, it is a void experience or it is a void? Well, no, it is mukha swadanavat. It is like a person who is dumb and he wants to express how he feels about this or that. If you ask, then what he will do? As he cannot express anything. But your facial silence and facial expression without muttering any word, that manifests, it is like that. That means it can be experienced inside, but it cannot be described by anyone. And then it is, what is the use of that? Well, no, don't think that it is totally inexpressible, but it is prakashate kwapi patre. But there are very competent people in whose life these supreme love got manifested. And we can find expression in that. So, who are those people? Who is like Rama, like Krishna, like Sri Chaitanya, like Ramakrishna. There you can find what is called supreme love. He is getting intoxicated. And we are reading the descriptions. When Ramakrishna is leaving his body, before even then, he is going internally absorbed, and the whole of the hairs are standing on end. The whole body is a horripilation of joy and blessings. That means so much profuse joy, it cannot be expressed. But it is expressed in such special people, Vapi Patre. But they are not ordinary. Now the question is that what is that love is like? It is, we cannot, first of all say it cannot be described, but still it is an attempt to describe. Which cannot be described, it is described in an attempt. Like Upanishad says, Brahman is abhang manasa gocharam, it is same. Brahman is beyond mind, beyond speech, beyond expression, beyond everything. Huh? Oh, is it only that? Well, no, it is true. But then the entire book continues to talk about Brahman. Brahman is like Sat. Essentially it is there. It is Chit consciousness, it is Ananda, it is bliss. It is beyond this, beyond that, and describe. You go on describing. You are saying it cannot be described, but you still do. Similarly here also, the Narada Rishi is talking about that it manifests in the life of some people who are blessed or who are so pure, so sattika, super sattika, that more manifestation of the divine love happens in them. Then still try to express that. What is that? It is gunarahitam. We know three gunas. Guna means three gunas. Sattva quality, rajas quality, tamas quality. This bhakti is not the tamasic, not even the rajasic, not even the sattvic. It is beyond that. Where gunas are zero. There is no guna. Beyond guna. Two stages are there. One is guna coming from the pure state to the lower state, to rajas, to tamas and below. Another is tamas, crossing tamas, going rajas, going sattva, beyond. Guna. Trigunatita. The same idea. What is called Trigunatita in the Bhagavad Gita, it is the same, it is called Guna Rahitam. There is no trace of guna. Not question of the tamas quality, not question of rajas quality, but even the sattva qualities, which is adorable. But he transcends that sattva quality also and reaches that parabhakti, prema, parama prema, supreme love. And it is kamana rahitam. Kamana means desire. Kamana means lustfully running for something, or even not lustfully, but desiring anything. But it is this parama prema, the supreme love when you get, it is not like that. It is kamana rahitam. Because why you will be kamana anymore? Kamana means we desire, we crave for something. Why? I think I am incomplete. I'll be happy if I get it. I have not this thing. I don't possess this. Then if I can possess, I'll be happier. But prema is fulfilled. It is self-fulfilled. It is so in itself, so saturated in itself. So it does not have any desire to get something more. There is no something more. This word does not happen. Kamana is a desire, craving, expectation, grabbing, holding. You don't need, because you are so saturated with immeasurable joy and experience that you don't crave for anything. Now we read it. Jajgatva, no. Oh, that will come next. That attaining which you will not feel for asking for anything else. Getting that love, you won't crave for anything else. Then you are still beggar. If you still beg something, that I need something, that means you have not reached that highest state. So highest state if you reach, then it will be kamana rahitam. Ordinary expectation fulfilled, then we are happy. But it is a fulfillment of all expectation. Kamana.
Even you won't have the desire to have that one more and more?
No.
Like when Narada, he attained that highest one, and then he said that the Lord said that you are not going to have it anymore. Then he felt so much sad. And
that is again you are coming into duality. That is not the supreme state. You are not staying there. If you once reach there, then what is that? You will not. Then you come back to the body level. Why do you come back to the body level? If you come back to the body level again, it will work through the body. That will be not the absolute joy. But when you, like samadhi, you go to samadhi and stay there, then what will go? What will go away? Not only that, it is pratikshana vardhamanam. This joy, suppose you got today, and you come back again, and again you get that joy. If you don't think that is, yesterday also I eat rasagulla, and today also I eat rasagulla. What is the special in it? I got yesterday some ice cream, and today also same ice cream. So what is that? I don't find any new charm. But no, it will be as if fresh, more and more, and it will grow spontaneously. Because it is Brahman, it is infinite. Infinite, you cannot say it is ended here. If it is finite, that has an end, but if it is infinite, so prema is infinite. It is distinction with our worldly desires and worldly fulfillment. Anything we get fulfilled in the worldly sense, then if we expect something more, and I am not satisfied there. But here, kamana rohitam, you are perfectly satisfied. But still, it is a joy unspeakable. And that joy every day grows more and more and more. How can you say more? Because you dive deeper and deeper and deeper. If you go to swim in the ocean, Pacific Ocean, just think about that. Okay, you go little 20 feet into the ocean. You go 50 feet into the ocean. You go 1 mile, 10 miles, 20 miles, 100 miles. More and more and more water, more water, more water. Similarly, this joy is more and more and more. That's why pratikshana vardhamanam, it enhances, it increases every moment you experience it. It never becomes monotonous. That is the distinction between worldly joy and spiritual joy. Worldly joy, even if you get every day, it will be monotonous. Even your highest joy, in the heaven joy, heavenly joy. If it is heavenly joy, then why the gods in the heaven sometimes fight with each other? Why they are jealous of each other? No? Because there is some finiteness is there. But when you transcend that also, that's why it is called sab chod ke sab paave. You give up everything, then you got everything. So pratikshana vardhamanam, avicchinnam, that joy has no separation. Avichinna means you are not separated from that joy at any point of time. Avichinna, unbroken. Unbroken, uninterrupted, limitless, every moment growing more and more. Suksmataram, it is subtle, very subtle. Very subtle. It cannot be by the tongue. You taste something. It is gross. You see something. It is to the eyes. You hear something through the ears. Touch something to the skin. But it is not that. It is suksmataram, finer, finer, finer. Go beyond all this. In the heart of your hearts, where there are no other sense organs working. Then you go to the mind. Even mind, through the mind, through the media of the mind you are experiencing. The mind also dissolves. You are thinking that you are more of an intellectual person, and there you are enjoying. Go that, penetrate that also. Then your ego obstacle, that is also to the limit of ego, that also penetrate. Then you read avicchinnam, unbroken, suksmataram, finer than the finest, and anubhava rupam, it is of the nature of experience. Sri Ramakrishna emphasized this. Spiritual life is experience, experience. So, This is the verse number 54 which we are reading today. So the Swami has translated here, this supreme love is devoid of any attributes. It is free from selfish desires. It grows in intensity every moment. It is an unbroken inner experience. It is an experience, and that experience is not broken by any other thought, any other ideas, any other feeling, any other emotions. It is unbroken flow of incessant joy. And it is subtler than the subtlest. So many qualities have been given here. So let us see what the first supreme love is, devoid of attributes. That is now being explained on page 125, verse number 54 at the bottom. This supreme love is the real nature of the Atman or Brahman, because he is explaining from the Vedantic standpoint. That is to say, Brahman or God is love itself, hence devoid of attributes. See? So, Brahman or Atman, which is devoid of all attributes. God, if you say, God is not, God is with attributes. That's why when he use very technical things, it is very difficult. So if you say Brahman, it's okay. As soon as you say God, he is with Maya, added with Maya, he becomes God. Is it not? So one step, as it were, Brahman comes down to us, one step down towards us. God descends, that's why it is called God descends. And we ascend. We ascend towards God, God descends towards us. So Brahman or God is love itself, hence devoid of attributes. When this love arises in a man's heart, he realizes his oneness with God, who is love itself. So you become one with God. Of course, the bhakti, you have to say God, because little experience is there. In Vedanta, your experiencer, and the experience, they become one. So Thakur said, I want to enjoy the bliss, that supreme joy. His question of enjoyment, pratikshana vardhamana, it increases every moment. How can you increase unless you have little distinction? So it is the God is in that way, but ultimately it is Brahman. In ordinary human love arises because the lover sees certain attributes or qualities in the beloved. Normal love is what? Aha, he looks so nice. Oh, her eyes are so beautiful. Aha, she looks like that, she stands like that. Oh, he sings like that. All depending on the good qualities, no? Ordinary love. And that's why you find that even the big love, when someone falls sick and really loses the youth, many people leave them because their love was based on some superficial look. How used to look, how used to do. And when that look goes away, your love goes away. But this is not like that. This is not like that. That is the speciality of prema bhakti, supreme love. The love is much deeper. It does not stop in the outer covering of the body, or the senses, or the qualities. Oh, he can sing so well. Oh, she sings so well. Oh, he can dance that way. Oh, she can dance that way. So singing, dancing, these qualities, normally people fall in love with those things. But this love is not independent of that. Whether it is love for love's sake.
We chant the qualities of that adharam, madhuram, nayanam, madhuram and all.
That is we do because we we want to see the duality. Because all the good qualities, that also devotion. Why devotion? Because you then love. If better eyes you can get. So adharam, madhuram. If adhar is not madhur, then you go to other. But Krishna is madhura. Madhura, 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 sab madhura. Krishna is all madhur, all sweet, all honey. Everything. His smile is happiness, spreads happiness. His look is like that, he's standing like that, he's walking like that, he's sitting like that. So everything. If this is not there, you will not love Krishna. You will go to somebody else. So if any love is centered around, normal love is centered around the physical part of it. It starts with that. And it can increase and increase, then it goes beyond physical. So, in ordinary human love, love arises because the lover sees, unless lover sees certain attributes or qualities in the beloved, he cannot love. But in this divine love, love knows no reason except that love is its own result or own fruit. When a man attains this love, he has found the treasure of all treasures. When one gets this, all the treasure you are searching through the life, he gets it. Treasure of all treasures. Je dhane hoiya dhoni, being rich in that wealth. Monire manana muni, you don't consider any jewel or any costly material of the earth meaningless. Please give me a part of that joy where you get that. That is God's love. So, when a man attains this love, he has found the treasure of all treasures. And there is a complete fulfillment. And you get it, it's a complete fulfillment. Your fulfillment, you need not have to think for something else to get. That's why those who got God intoxication, Ramakrishna, when God intoxication, the whole world is forgotten. He does not seek for anything. He could have searched for something else. Even, a person is having 1 million, earning 1 million. Now I understand. Many people earn millions, Baba. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Even doctors, good doctors, they have good income like that. But 3 million is nothing. 1 billion is there. But when you have that anymore, that's why there is complete fulfillment. I got what am I to get. I don't need anything else. Emotionally people say, I love you, I got you, I don't need anything. No, you need anything more. Because it cannot complete you. The duality cannot complete it. That means you have to be absorbed. Only in the absorbed state people can think, I am fulfilled. So, all selfish desires appear then as mere beads of glass. If one, getting the love of God, that's why people don't care. Look at the world, religious people in the whole world. They don't care for anything. Anything you see in the world is meaningless for them. Any achievement, any accomplishment, any wealth, any jewel, any whatever can say the highest thing in material world, nothing suits them. They remain in their absolute bliss. Sarada Devi, the Holy Mother, used to teach us to pray that we may be desireless. How you will be desireless? You cannot be desireless unless you reach something which fulfills you. Otherwise desire will haunt you. We read in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, when he said, people who are worldly, they run away from desires, but desires follow them. And as a result they get bound into it. But the wise, they don't have any craving. They leave the cravings behind. Why? How can he leave the cravings behind? Because they got something. It is not void. It is Ishvara Prapti. And Jagat Anitya, Brahma Sattva. So, world is unreal, but God is real or Brahman is real. So in attaining Brahman, you can say, I give up. Unless you get something higher, you cannot give up really anything small. Smaller, you cannot give. If you give even, your mind will say, ha ha ha, why did I give away? I had something, I could have kept it for me. Now it would have been useful for me. People after renunciation many times repent. Oh, why did I give away? No? That's why our Swamis and some of the Swamis give good advice. Someone comes out of some good feeling sometime that, oh, I want to give out this my money, this my building, this house. Some of the sadhus say, no, don't give. Keep it in your name now. And when you can write that when you feel that you don't need anymore, when you die, then you can give it. That's a good choice. And there was one thing, a story that one gentleman, his son or somebody died. So they came to Belur Math. In early days of Belur Math, that was very poor days. So Baburam Maharaj was very happy. The rich man giving away his property and other things, that will help the Math to run little better. Food and shelter and all this. Baburam Raja Maharaj was not happy. He said, Baburam da, this man is trying to give up because his son is now dead. No? We should not take it. He may change his mind. And actually it happened. Afterwards he changed his mind. And also, you cannot give up unless you get something. That is a fundamental rule. People undergo so much of stress and strain because they get something or they expect something, that they will get it. Either you get it or you are expecting. For expectation, people renounce many things. I will get higher joy, so I give up this joy for the time being. Students give up their joy of fun, joy of playing in the or whatever, going outing, etc. Why? Give up. For thinking, after I pass the examination, I will get a good job, then I will enjoy all these things. More. So expectation is there. Either you get it or you have expectation. Without that, no one can give up. You got it something, if you can renounce really 10%, then you know that you got something, otherwise you cannot give up. Or you are hoping you will get it tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. So this is the two condition. Otherwise, in the inside, the craving will be carrying the craving inside, dissatisfied, and outside searching for something. If you don't get anything, or if there is no hope of getting anything, that's why frustration comes. So Mother said that be desireless. And that's a beautiful word of Holy Mother, Vasana Shunno. If you can give up your Vasana, now you are liberated here and now. Find fulfillment. In the great souls, however, there is one desire left. In the higher spiritual people, what is the desire? They leave only one desire. All other desires they can give up. Desire left, if it can be called a desire. Sakalo garbo charibo, tomaro garbo charibo na. Sakalo garbo, all my pride, all my glory, I can give up. Sakalo garbo dur kori dibo, tomaro garbo charibo na. I will give up all my other glory or glorification of myself. But I belong to you. This I am not going to give away. Tomari garbo charibana. So here, the great souls, those who are great people, spiritual people, they, however, there is one desire left in them, and it can be called, if you can call it desire. Ramakrishna said it is not desire. When you desire for God, you cannot categorically put it into the column of desire. Desire is that worldly gain is called desire. When you get to spiritual desire for God, it is not. Ramakrishna gave the example we read the other day. It is called the one type of spinach and vegetables. That is done, hinche spinach does not fall in the category of ordinary spinach, or ordinary beans. Green leaves, ordinary green leaves. Why? Ordinary green leaves may have some bad effect, but hinche is such a green leaf which cures your stomach problem. Similarly, ordinary sweet is bad, but rock candy is good. It does not increase your cholesterol. I do not know, that is the concept.
Digestion problem.
And it helps your digestion. Anyhow, it has a good side also. So if you love God, though it is God, you are craving, but that craving is not ordinary craving. That is welcome, that is appreciated. So it cannot be called a desire. The heart of a great soul is full of compassion. And so his one desire is that all mankind may find this love which brings the peace that passeth all understanding. That passeth understanding. So they are also craving for something. They are asking for some peace, not momentary peace. By eating something we can find peaceful. I am very happy. That means I am peaceful. No, it's a momentary peacefulness. But they go for peace that passeth understanding. All our understanding, it grows away. So it is beyond that. The supreme love grows in intensity every moment and is ever new. That's the beauty. It is unparalleled. In the world you cannot get anything such, that ever new. You get yesterday good meal, and the same good meal is served, you will be not very much appreciative. First you appreciate, because something you felt better. So, but in spiritual life, if you have a good meditation today, and then tomorrow you get good meditation, you will be swelling in joy more and more and more. So you don't think that, okay, I got that yesterday, I got it today, what is that? No. It will be much more in your experiential side. Grows in intensity every moment and is ever new. It is always new. Nobo opi, pura opi nobo. Though it is old stock, but it is all ever green, ever new. My master used to say, means here Swami Brahmananda. Swami Brahmananda used to say, what? Light, more light, more light. Is there any end to it? Aye. More and more and more revelation will happen. As the mind opens up, little by little darkness goes away. In the morning time you see, if you really go when the sun rises in a place where there is dark, no street light or other light, no? So that see, the dark, covering the dark, and now the sun is rising. See? Light, more light, more light, more light, more light. And ultimately you get absorbed, then it is full of light, there is nothing but light and light. So this is the spiritual life also, joy, more peace, more perfection, more satisfaction. And then at one point the measuring instrument, ego, that I dies. And then it becomes mouthless, stop, speechless. So those speechless, they are trying to express that joy. Now, he continues, there is, on 126th page, there is an interesting legend about a devotee of Shiva. In India, one sees the image of a bull in front of the image of Shiva. The bull so the legend goes, represents a great devotee of Lord Shiva, whose love grew to such an intensity and who experienced such ecstatic joy that his human frame could hold it no longer. So he was transformed into a strong bull in order that he could hold the intense love and joy and remain calm. So this is one story about Lord Shiva, where you find the bull. Always in any Shiva temple you go, you will find the big bull at the entrance point or before Lord Shiva. He is a lover of Krishna Shiva. And Shiva, in falling in love, swells up so much totally, and that's why he has become calm. He is not a restless bull.
Isn't he the conveyor of Shiva, the bull?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, he called ox. It goes over his bull is the rider.
They are.
It is an unbroken inner experience, subtler than the subtlest. And this joy is endless. Its joy is endless. And it is subtler than the subtlest. It grows finer and finer, not gross. It is not eating with the tongue. Some gross thing, gross tongue, gross food. But it is deeper and deeper when there is no instrument. Even the mind is the instrument. Even mind is purified. Mind is mindless. So, it is unbroken inner experience. It is subtler than the subtlest. A bhakta remains immersed in the bliss and sweetness continuously. Once, a young aspirant asked Swami Turiyananda, Swami, do you not sleep? Question. Turiyananda Swami answered, yes, I sleep. But my sleep is not like yours. Quote ends. What does it mean? That is to say, even in sleep, he experiences the inner joy. It is not our sleep. We also find inner joy, of course. If you are deep sleep, we find inner joy. But they remain totally, Gumere Gum Parayeshi. There is a song that I have put the sleep to sleep. Gum means sleeping. I have put the sleep to sleep. That means sleep cannot make me unconscious. Sleep cannot make me unconscious about my divine glory, the bliss which I am. Turiyananda Swami is always established in the knowledge of Brahman. So his joy is all the time, is in that high peak. But what happens when you sleep? In the sleep, if you have the realization, in the sleep also, undercurrent of joy will flow.
You know, Swamiji, can I ask, can you say something? Or at the end?
At the end.
Not at the end.
So, that is to say, even in sleep, he experienced that inner joy. It is subtler than the subtlest because it can only be felt and cannot be expressed in words. It is inexpressible and indescribable because this experience is the experience of Satchidananda, Brahman, the absolute experience, existence, pure consciousness and love itself. Now, so these are the few qualities. Verse number 54, it says that it is beyond all gunas, guna rahitam, it is kamana rahitam, there is no touch of selfishness or desire from selfish end. Its nature, the divine love, is grows and grows and grows more and more and more as you move on. It is avichinna, it is unbroken flow. In our joy every day, how many moments we are joyful and how many moments we forget and we suffer. But once you get this supreme joy, it is unbroken flow, it will continuous. It will avichinna. And it is not gross, it is subtle. No, subtle. It is subtler than the subtlest. Suksma taram. And it is only anubhava rupam. You have to experience it. No one can describe it, no one can touch it and give you. But you can, even someone gives, Ramakrishna touched someone. And see, whom Ramakrishna touched, they get established into the unbroken joy. They get absorbed into unbroken joy. Now this verse number, next verse. Tat prapyo, 55 verse on page 127. Tat prapyo tadevo avalokayati tadeva srinati tadevo bhasayati iti tadeva chintayati. Huh? After attaining that love, what happens? He becomes mad. But what he does? Tat prapyo, attaining that supreme love, tadeva avalokayati, that love he sees everywhere. Tat eva, only he sees everywhere, it is interpenetrated with that love, divine love. See how we are fools, we are searching for a little dot of love and running like a worthless people. No? How much energy we spend to get a little joy from eating, for seeing something, some recreation. These are not bad. But what this analysis is here, we are running and giving so much of our energy to get a little dot of joy. Whereas this joy, if one gets, what will happen? Tat prapyo, attaining that joy and reaching that bhakti, the supreme love, tadevo avalokayati. You see love everywhere. Love means blissfulness. Everywhere, joy, 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 joy. You don't see any human face, but you see it is saturated with joy. Ramakrishna says, the Latu here sitting, I see. There is God sitting over there. That means it is all Satchidananda. So it is tadevo avalokayati, tadevo srinati. He listens only in the murmur of the leaves, in the winds blowing. He hears the Om going on. He listens to the voice of God, voice of love everywhere. Swami Vivekananda, in his beautiful poem, Seeing God Everywhere, what he said, I was searching here and there, in hill and dell, in mountain caves. I was searching, but I could not, everywhere came the return, no, 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 no. And ultimately, suddenly one day I find that voice is coming from here. And I understand, oh Lord, you are here all the time, and I am searching thee. And then with this experience, what happened? Wherever I look, I see your face. Whatever I do, I feel you only. So there is the question, that he sees his beloved everywhere. We don't find anywhere. But when you get this divine love, you see that it is all Sri Ramakrishna sitting. It is all Sri Ramakrishna. The pews, like Ramakrishna said, what he said? The floor, the marble floor, the door sill, the roof, everything is only consciousness. And Naren then came out listening to this and was talking with his friend, Hajra, who is sitting just outside the corridor. and he was on the Ganga side. And he said, everything is God. Huh? What a crazy idea. The door is God, door seal is God. Huh?
Pitcher and bowl.
Pitcher, bowl, pitcher of water, pitcher, everything is God, God. Sri Rama came like asking, hey, what are you talking about? They said, we are talking about what you said. Everything is God, everything is God. How come? And Sri Rama, in that ecstatic mood, touched Naren. What happened? He saw God everywhere. Nothing but God, nothing but that. That is the touch Ramakrishna could give, that joy. And he is established in that joy for continuously for days. In the road he is passing, he only sees God. The hackney carriage, the horse-driven carriage, it's all God. The iron railing of the Hedua Park. There is a park near Swami Vivekananda's ancestral home. He is hitting his head on the cast iron railing. Is it God or it is cast iron? But he felt it is all consciousness. No? See, Tadiva Avalokayati. Sees everywhere, nothing but God, his beloved Lord everywhere. Thakur used to see that all the time. No? Tad beloved everywhere. And Tadeva Srinoti. Whatever he hears his voice, his God's voice, his beloved's voice. But through every mouth, every word he listens his own beloved's sweet tongue, sweet note. He talks only of him, and what he does? Tadeva bhasayati. And when he speaks to people, he only talks about God, 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 God. Ramakrishna is a gross example here. Always you see the whole gospel, where you find one word other than God. Either singing in the name of God, dancing in the name of God, talking about God, asking somebody, what do you think of me? What do you think of God? So all conversion is tad eva bhasayati. He speaks only of, talks about him, and he thinks of him and him only. Chintayati. That means he is like a ghost, driven by ghost. People forget their own behavior. No? Have you seen people who are possessed by ghost? When you're possessed by ghost, as the ghost wants, the whole personality will be behaving like that. That's why he is a good man, but he will be behaving like a crazy man. If the ghost is crazy, ghost has entered into him. So similarly, when God enters into one, love enters into one, the spiritual love, that person changes in this way. So prapyo, attaining that God, tadeva avalokati, sees him, the beloved Lord everywhere, tadeva srinoti, in his ear, always he sees his beloved's voice. Kali, jato shuno karno pute sabi mayer mantro bate, jato shuno karno pute, as much as you see through your eardrum here, sabi mayer mantro bate, all words are mother's mantra. You hear all mantra. Thakur said even in slang language, when people use slang words, that is also mother. The spiritual people will feel like that. Tadeva bhasayati. And he will speak in the only of him, God, and tadeva chintayati, he will think of God. So think of God, talk about God, you will hear about God, you will see God all around. What a state, no? When a man attains this supreme love, page 127, 55 verse in the top, when a man attains this supreme love, he sees his beloved everywhere, he hears of him everywhere, He talks only of him and he thinks of him only. In fact, he is continuously united with his beloved Lord. He receives the divine sight and he sees nothing but Brahman. Behind this apparent universe of multiplicity, he sees the one reality. Such a man regards with an equal eye all beings and the creatures. Only he can see the one in everyone. In our love, our expression, there is hierarchy. I love more this person and that person. But when he sees that one, whom will love more? Who will love less? If one sees the same Ramakrishna here, same Ramakrishna there, now how can he see more, less? That's the change comes in him. As a matter of fact, we are really perceiving Brahman all the time. We are also ignorantly now, I am seeing nothing but God. But only the universe of name and form is superimposed on that Brahman, on him. In this universe is nothing but Brahman. But because we are under the spell of Maya, we are not aware of it. Until the divine sight is open, we see only matter and physical objects with our physical eyes. With the eye of spirit, the enlightened man sees Brahman everywhere under all circumstances. And not only that, he hears of him everywhere. Any sound that he hears reminds him only of God's words. Kali Panchashat Varnamayi. Mother is Varnamayi. 50 forms are there. Varne Rupadhare. Alphabets are in Sanskrit, 50 alphabets. A, E, U, etc. So in each letter, that is the form of mother. Because through the letters only we express ourselves. The whole world is, all the ideas are expressed through words. No? Words are composed of the letters, and each letter is mother. So each word naturally is pure, is naturally God. Even in Khisti Kheur, Thakur bolchen, even in slang and using slang language or talking tidbit, ordinary some words, that's also mother. Sri Ramakrishna in a state of ecstasy said, "O mother, thou art the sound of all ages, thou art the sound of all the letters in the alphabet, thou art the scripture as well as in what may sound improper or indecent. Thou art all these sounds." Quoted. Uttering these words, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. Because everything is mother, nothing but mother. The illuminating heart sees behind the veil of good and evil the single light that is of his beloved Lord. He sees the beloved Lord behind everyone. So even in the who is feeding you? And the response comes, he who has beaten me. That sadhu, when he was beaten by some miscreants and he was half dead and he is brought back to the ashram and someone is feeding warm milk, and by that the sadhu gets back to his consciousness and asks, who has done this thing, this beating to you? He says, he who is feeding. See the spontaneous response there. He who has beaten me, he is feeding me. That means sees God everywhere. So it comes because of this extraordinary achievement. He talks only of him, he thinks of him only. Shankara says, quote, "How could a wise man reject the experience of supreme bliss and take delight in mere outward form? When the moon shines in its exceeding beauty, who would care to look at the painted moon?" Quoted. This world is a reflection only. It's a painting. Real moon, if you see, suppose someone gives a canvas, painting the moon, and you see the moon parallelly, two things given side by side. Where will your look go? Will you think towards a painted moon? This is painted moon. This whole world is a painted distorted, disfigured Brahman. So if you see Brahman, will you then feel interested? Aha, what a beautiful artwork. God's artwork is much better than anyone's artwork. So when you get that, then your face will not be attracted to anything. Oh, experience, and then he teaches us how to live our lives in God. Quote, experience of the unreal offers us no satisfaction, nor any escape from misery. Find satisfaction, therefore, in the experience of the sweet bliss of Brahman. Devote yourself to the Atman and live happily forever. Quote continues, O noble soul, this is how you must pass your days. See the Atman everywhere. Enjoy the bliss of the Atman. Fix your thought upon the Atman, the one without a second. So, try to see God everywhere. That is called bhakti. See, so bhakti does not mean any other thing. All to end result. Look at the end result. End result is seeing God everywhere, experiencing the presence of God everywhere, feeling, experiencing, seeing, talking, hearing, both ways. Hearing of God, talking about God, seeing God, experiencing God. Deepest of level and with eyes open. With eyes closed, with eyes open. This is called the para bhakti, the supreme love which we are all seeking for. So, I can end here today, and only if you have any question, then we can talk about.
She has question.
Achha, now you can.
I just want to make a statement. You know, I asked one Swamiji, Swami Swahananda. I said, you know, Swamiji, I have never seen you in Samadhi. And he said, I have never seen you in Samadhi.
In Samadhi, yeah.
And he says, when I'm sleeping, I'm in Samadhi.
Yeah.
No wonder I miss.
Right. So no question, very good. Then we are free. So we'll be together in the class in the evening, Santi Gita, and that Santi Gita will be a song of peace. We want peace. So that is Sri Krishna's lesson. We'll try to learn at 7:30. Try to read that. Okay, thank you all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Jai Sri Ramakrishna.